E-L-O-E-J, a little aloha in our day. Spread a little aloha around the world. At breakfast with Bob.
Thank you, Poncho Man. Welcome to Breakfast with Bob, the Not Quite Kona edition. My name is Bob Babbitt. We're brought to you by Hoka One Master Spas, Clash Endurance, UCAN, Hyper Ice, Premium Plus Sports, Form Smart Swim Goggles, and of course, our Challenged Athletes Foundation. We just sent out 3,038 grants totaling $5.1 million to keep challenged athletes in the game of life through sport. Our next, Kylie Simpson, who is really on a roll. She just won Ironman Western Australia. She won Asia Pacific. And in that Asia Pacific race, which is I want to talk to Kylie about. First of all, Kylie, welcome to the show. Thanks so much for taking time.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Great to be here.
So, Kylie, I'm looking at the 2021 Ironman Cairns, and it's Asia Pacific Championship. And I think you were like, 20 minutes behind going into the run?
Yeah, 19 minutes something. Yep, so let's say 20. Yeah, absolutely.
First of all, how'd you get that far back? That's surprising for you to be that far back.
I was last out of the water. I came to swimming later in life, let's just say that. And I did not have a good swim. And yeah, I was 20 minutes behind coming off the bike. So.
Wow. But then you put together 2:53:20 marathon.
Yeah.
Or 9:06:34. When did you finally move in the first place?
With about 11K to go.
Okay. And yeah. I mean, when you came off the bike, it's not like you were in second or third, but you were like in sixth place. So you had to go by a bunch of folks.
Yeah. Sixth place. And I knew that I had to go.
Was it one of those races where you had a sense where they were, or were they out of sight, and you really had no idea? It's a
4-lap run course. So it was perfect for me because I could see where they were. Yeah.
Yeah, because you went from, I think you're halfway through, you'd made up 10 minutes. And so as you're going along, you're getting pretty excited because you could see they're coming back.
Yeah. After the first lap, I thought, okay, I put more time into them than I had expected. So I thought, okay, we're in a good spot here.
So the fact that you're obviously, this was don't you think, your best year ever?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, when you win two Ironman, you qualify for Kona. Will this be your first Kona coming up in October?
Yeah, it will. Yeah.
Okay, so I got to ask this. 38 years old, and you're kicking ass. So what the hell? What took you so long? What took you so long to get in there?
I know. I should have moved to triathlon earlier. So I have been a runner all of my life, and just found that I kept getting injured, significant injuries that were putting me out prior to big races. And so I was always cross training. So I was always in the pool or on a bike when I couldn't run. And so I thought, well, let's see what this long course triathlon's all about.
So as a runner, were you more like a marathoner? Were you like a track athlete through high school, college?
Yeah. So through high school, was on the track, 800, 1500. And then as I got older, just kept the distance just kept increasing. And, 3K, 5K, 10K, half marathon, and then the marathon. So, which I never thought as a younger athlete that I would run a marathon. I used to think they're crazy. No way.
Silliest thing in the world. Who would ever want to do that? But the problem is, as you're running, as you sort of age, you find yourself going, oh, well, you know what? I can't be competitive anymore at the 1500. I got to move up.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So what's your marathon PR?
2:28.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
2:20.
Yeah.
2:28.
Yeah.
Now that. So were you trying to make the Olympic team then for Australia?
Yes.
How close did you get?
So I got a significant stress fracture. Well, actually not a stress fracture. I completely snapped my metatarsal, so I didn't get selected. So I was in a moon boot for it was over 3 months with that injury.
But your time, would that have qualified you for the team?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
For which
And,
Olympics? Which Olympics was that?
For Rio, and then for Com Games 2018, which was actually here on the Gold Coast. So that would have been pretty special, and didn't get to do that. So having all of these big injuries, then thought, okay, let's have a look at triathlon.
So I don't know very many female triathletes who have a 2:28 marathon PR. I mean, you're sort of in a league of your own right there. And the fact that you're coming in, have you found that by the combination of these sports that these injuries have sort of gone away?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I'm not running the high mileage. Like I would do 160, 180 kilometers a week running. And then sometimes we would, in a big block, we'd have some weeks at 200. And of course, there's no
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So there's no way that you do that in triathlon.
Well, you know what's funny about that is I remember Gwen Jorgensen was running faster when she was just a runner in college. She was actually running faster when she got into triathlon on way less mileage, right? And staying healthy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you were to be talking to your coaches from 10, 15 years ago and saying, okay, this is the way I should be training, what would you do differently? Would you be incorporating swimming and cycling into your running from back then to keep yourself healthier?
Yeah, definitely. So my old run coach, I still see him a couple of times a week. He's like family. I call him my dad. And it's interesting because we obviously we talk about it a lot, and he still coaches. He has an elite squad here in Brisbane, and it's interesting seeing he actually has some of his younger athletes doing swim and bike now. So yeah, and they're straight runners.
When you were coming into this, did any coaches ever recommend, hey, swim a little bit, ride a little bit, do weight training, or were they all just, if you want to run fast, you got to run fast?
Oh no, we certainly we swam and we rode, but not like it might be two. It was 2 swims a week, and it was probably 1 bike, and it was 3 gym, but very more body weight sort of stuff, not strength.
Are you doing strength now?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You know, it's funny to me is that's one of the things I've always felt, that if I always tell my running buddies who are like 40, 45 years old, the orthopedic reality is you're not running any faster. As you age, you're not running faster, but as a triathlete, you can do everything faster. You can swim, bike, and run faster as you age because there's less weight bearing.
Absolutely.
And you're the absolute living embodiment of this, that you can run. You feel like you're running better now. I mean, not 228-ish, but more, you can run and stay healthier because by the balance.
Yeah, definitely. I in the block leading into Busselton, Ironman Western Australia, there was a fun run here in Brisbane. It was a 10K, and so I had been asked to do it as part of a team, and so we were obviously not focusing on that. We're doing the Ironman training, and we had a really big sort of 8 or 9 days, and then had to go and do this 10K. And I was thinking, oh God, what's going to happen here? Just run it to feel, and running it easy, not putting in not going to the bottom of the well. And I still ran 35 minutes for 10K after in the middle of an Ironman prep. So
and I bet you when you wake up in the morning, your body is nowhere near as sore as it used to be.
Oh, nowhere near. Like I feel so much better now than I did 10 years ago running. Like just, it's a different world.
And if you were talking to high school and college coaches, you'd probably say, hey, why don't you get some bike trainers, put them on the side of the track here, because tuning the engine is tuning the engine. You don't have to just run.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So when did you connect with Cam Watt And what did he bring to the table for you?
It was it was early 2019 when I started with Cam, probably back in like March, April. I contacted a mutual friend had put me onto Cam, and we did figure out that we had met many years ago when I was a runner, and he was a triathlete at an altitude camp down in the snowy mountains here. And he thought the runners were crazy, and I thought the triathletes were crazy. So and now we're working.
And now you're crazy.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So it would have been. I think I started full time with Cam in May 2019.
Okay. Yeah. And learning these other two sports, learning to swim. It's not so much a learning to swim, but learning to swim to be able to compete at the level you want to compete at. That is a challenge.
Oh my God, it's a challenge. Yeah, definitely. So coming from the run background, like my swimming, I was never in a swim squad, or we were never swimming large volume. We were never swimming, reps in the pool. So yeah, a whole new world for me.
And what's been, how much swimming have you been doing? And have you gotten to the point where you felt like, okay, I'm having some breakthroughs here?
I was very, very slow when I started. And look, I still am, and I still have a long way to go, but we certainly have, we have had some breakthroughs. I'm in the pool every day. Every morning starts in the pool. And I just need to be in there because it's not my natural.
Sure.
Yeah, it's not my strength.
So, but what's nice is without the weight bearing, you can swim every day. You can do intensity all day long, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
So was there one race where you realized, okay, I can, because when you're getting into triathlon at that point, you don't really know where it's going to go. This is sort of a new thing. Was there one race where you realized, okay, you know what? I think I could be really good at this?
Yeah, it would have been my first Ironman, which was Cairns 2020.
Okay.
So I got fourth at the Cairns 2020.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. You were ninth at Sunshine Coast 70.3 in 2020. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you got fourth. So then all of a sudden you're in the hunt. You're like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
Close to the podium.
And confirmed that the longer distance is certainly where my strength lies.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no ITU races in your future.
Actually, in saying that, I did do the Noosa triathlon back as part of the Busso prep, and ran a 35-minute 10K, and then went and did a 10K run warm down. And it was interesting because I thought, it's a 2-hour race, and I thought, my God, this is not even like one of the bike or the run legs of what I do. The whole race is done. Yeah, definitely not going to ITU. No way.
It's funny how you're sort of surprising yourself every day when you're all of a sudden you're getting off the bike 19 minutes down and you're running your way to the win.
Yeah.
That was your first win at was the first win in Cairns, Western Australia. Which was your first one?
Cairns. So Cairns was back in June this year, and then Western Australia was 10 days ago. Yeah. Yeah.
So just when you win Western Australia, and once you win Cairns, then now people are looking at you differently. They're sort of expecting you to be up there. That's a little different game. Were you okay with that? Because now people are pointing at you.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I love it. I love to race. I mean, obviously I love the training as well, but racing is, just love it.
I'm guessing that since you had so much success in running, but had so many injuries, you must look back at that period and go, man, if I could have gotten into triathlon 10 years ago, I could, but at the same time, you must look at it and go, I'm so fresh, right? You just seem like you're really loving this new athletic chapter in your life.
Yeah, definitely. You're right. Like I do, I certainly do sometimes think, like what would have happened if I went to this earlier? But then also, I wouldn't have developed my run as I did. And, it may not be at where it is now in the triathlon. All of that marathon training taught me how to hurt.
Yes.
And, I think that's a really big benefit in long course triathlon. And I think mentally, it taught me to deal with pain and
Well, you've dealt with setbacks more than most people. I mean, when you're a 2:28 marathoner and you aren't able to get to the Olympics, how could you even watch the Olympics that year?
Yeah, it was pretty hard. I cried. But then again, and down at the Gold Coast too, that was a pretty hard day because I actually was down there watching it. So that was pretty rough as well.
So what are the plans for this build up to Kona? I'm assuming Kona is the number one for you this next year.
Yeah, absolutely. So, St. George.
Oh, so you do 70.3? No, you're doing Ironman St. George.
Yeah.
Oh, so you got double Ironmans.
Yeah. So Cairns qualified me for Kona like this year. So now St. George, and then Ironman Western Australia was for Kona next year.
St. George.
Yeah. So St. George and Kona next year.
Now, have you raced a lot in the US?
No, never.
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 You haven't been?
No.
How cool is this going to be for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, and you know what? St. George is going to that's a perfect course for you. A great runner like yourself with the climbs and everything.
Yeah.
The bike, how difficult has that been for you? Because I remember we have this program where in the US, they identify people who have a swim run background and they teach them to ride the bike. So when they identified Gwen Jorgensen, my buddy was working with her and she was falling over at stoplights. She couldn't clip in, had no idea, obviously she's becoming a gold medalist, but at the beginning, that cycling part was hard. How about for you?
Yeah, I've always ridden a bike. So as a little kid, but I've never done any bike racing. I love the bike. So we have definitely done a lot of work on that, a lot of climbing in the hills and a lot of turbo stuff. So I'm loving the bike, and we certainly are getting stronger on it all of the time. So that's a big, as you would guess, that's a big focus for us to have that bike run pretty strong.
No, the deal, because you're going to have to make up ground. You're going to be coming out of the water behind, and then you're going to have to work your way through the field. And I saw that one of your heroes, or you were a fan of Steve Prefontaine. As am I. Actually had some really fun stories on Pre with Rod Dixon and John Walker and some of those legendary athletes. What is it about Pre and his attitude that connects with you?
I think it's his heart. He just has such a big heart, and just ran because he loved it, and it was simple. Does that make sense?
It was simple.
Yeah.
So my favorite Pre story was there's a runner named Kenny Moore who ended up being a writer, right? But he finished the 72 Olympic marathon in 4th place, right? So he finishes the marathon and he's underneath the stadium there in Munich, and he's sort of struggling with himself. It's like, God, I just had this. I was 4th. I had the best race I ever had, but I was 4th. I'm not on the podium. And he runs into Pre. Pre comes up to him and like, Kenny, what a great race. You're the 4th best marathoner in the world. You should be so proud. And he goes, Pre, how'd you do? I was 4th. 4th is for losers. 4th sucks. Sort of like, it's okay for you, but not for me.
Not for me.
I'm Steve Prefontaine. I don't take 4th place, but Kenny Moore, you should be happy with that. I love that. And so will you come to the States to train leading into St. George?
Yeah. I think we will. I'm sure that we'll probably head over to Utah a little bit beforehand. Yeah.
We were just there for the first time in September for Worlds. And that is you will love training there. It is beautiful. That is a great place. So then will you, after that, you go back home. What other, do you have other races scheduled, or is it mainly those two?
Yeah, we haven't confirmed it 100%, but I'd like to go back to Cairns.
Yes.
And that is that's early June. So
that's right. That's perfect.
Yeah.
So May, June, October.
Yeah. And then probably go back to Ironman Western Australia, which is December.
So 4 Ironmans next year.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah.
Now, how many marathons did you, besides these Ironman ones, how many did you run in your career?
Oh God, I don't know. I'd have to have a look.
Really?
But,
so it's a bunch, more than 20.
And half. Oh, probably not 20. No, but lots of half Ironmans, lots of half marathons as training, and lots of 10Ks, and we used to do 10K on the track, and anything where we could get a hard hit out, we'd get, and then just hope that we didn't get injured. So
as somebody who's got such a great history in running, when with the shoes now, with the plates, right, the carbon plates, most of us who aren't real runners can't really tell that much of it, and who are slow can't really tell the difference. You can. What do you think? Has it made a difference?
Yeah. And when they first came out, sorry, that's my dogs in the background.
That's okay. You got 2 dogs, right?
I've got 2 dogs. Yes. Yeah. So when they first came out, I thought, no, because I'm such a, I would always wear a very minimal shoe, very little, like the old school racing flats, just
right.
nothing. Yeah. And then these carbon plate shoes came out, and I thought, oh no, that. And I wear the Nikes. I've always worn Nike and love them. Absolutely. I'm a 4-foot runner though, so yes. So they work for me.
You.
Yeah. They do make a difference. I think they allow you to pull up better, so you're recovering better. And hey, look, maybe if they were around 10 years ago, maybe I could still be a runner because I wouldn't be as injured.
You wouldn't be as injured because you, like you said, you ran in the minimalist shoes. You probably were more susceptible, especially when you're running 200K a week.
Yeah, absolutely. And on the track twice a week, wearing spikes. So it's just these shoes they are brilliant. Yeah, and any of them,
they make a difference. Love it.
Yeah.
Kylie, I love getting to chat with you. This is going to be so much fun because we'll see you in St. George, and then we'll be doing the show from St. George. We'll get to meet in person there, and then Kona will be at beautiful Huggos, and you're going to love both those races. It's going to be really, really fun. Have you been able to go outside of Australia, or not really?
No, we haven't. So we've been stuck here. I was going to go and race Roth. I was on the start list for that, and then I had a bike crash about 10 days before Roth, and I fractured my thumb, like back in this joint here, and I've got some screws in it, and just not less than ideal. Essentially, I snatched my thumb off internally, and so it had surgery, and of course then didn't get to Roth. But I did. I had a travel exemption because we have to apply to leave Australia, so I did have that approval to go to Germany, but then the bike crash happened and we didn't go. So
oh my God.
So been stuck here since it all started, really, since COVID started. Yeah.
Talk a little bit about the difference in, obviously you were racing at an elite level in the running world, and then you move into triathlon. I just feel there's such a cool community in triathlon, even among the pros, where really it's you against the course. Yeah, you're racing the other women, but it's really you against you at the end of the day. Do you find that there is maybe more camaraderie among the pro triathletes than of runners?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. There certainly is. I mean, you look at the Hills District squad. I mean, you've got all of us that train under Cam, and you've got Amelia, you've got myself, you've got Renee, Kylie, we've got Sarah Crowley, we've got Sky Monch, and we're all we're all part of it. Like we're a team, and we all help each other. So, but we all race each other, and we stand on the start line together, race each other, and then. But we've done our prep together, and so it certainly is.
There's no secrets in the sport. Everybody knows what people are doing. Back in the day, people wouldn't share their workouts. It's like, oh, I can't let anybody know what I'm doing. But the reality is, most people can't do what you're doing anyways. So
Probably true. Yeah, but there certainly is that difference in the triathlon community than the running. I think there's more from the age group triathletes. There's certainly more. I don't know whether support is the right word, but it's certainly more inclusive than with the running, because you there's no what world championship run race do you have essentially a fun run where age groupers can just come and run with the pros. It doesn't happen. So you're not going to get someone want to go and run 10K on the track and run with the pros like that. So it's a completely different environment. So where you're all racing together on the same course at the same time. So I think there's like a mutual respect there. Might be.
That's because basically when you're done with the Ironman World Championship, you can walk up to Jan Frodeno or Lucy Charles Barkley and say, "How bad was the wind for you at 60 miles?" Right? Yeah, because you were on the same course on the same day, and you were dealing with very similar conditions. And the thing that all of you know is that not if you're yourself or if you're a 50-year-old age grouper, neither of you know if you're going to finish that day, right? Yeah. When you go to the start of an Ironman, we don't know, flat tire, mechanical, body issue. You don't know if you're going to finish. Yeah. I just think there's a bond between age groupers and pros, and think about it. Most pros started as age groupers.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it is a completely different world to running. So different. Yeah.
You just seem to have a glow about you. It seems like, because it's also brand new, and you're a professional athlete but you've been a professional athlete before, but now it seems like you found your calling.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But very excited about where it's all going. And I love it. And I love to race. So
we'll see you racing. I'm obviously excited to have you come to the States. Kylie, thanks so much for taking time. Such a pleasure to get to meet you. Congratulations on your 2 huge wins this year. That is awesome.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Looking forward to meeting you in Utah in person.
I love it. Kylie Simpson has been our guest, everybody. Again, Breakfast with Bob, not quite Kona edition. We'll catch you next time. Thanks, Kylie.
Thank you.